2, 1.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody, and welcome to KSAT News Now. Thanks for spending part of your morning with us. Just a reminder, we are streaming on KSAT.com, the KSAT TV app, Facebook, YouTube,
and podcasting
yes,
now.
we are definitely podcasting, so go ahead and like and subscribe to that podcast Monday through Friday as we get you ready for KSAT News Now. And before we get into some of our top stories and, of course, weather, I see Justin standing by here. He's got Weather 101 ready for us. Alicia, I wanted to bring your attention to a story that just dropped from ESPN. The headline here, Cowboys paid $2.4 million to settle Cheerleaders' voyeurism allegations against senior team executive. Have you heard anything about this?
So I have not. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that I was listening to a podcast about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and it kind of goes in depth into different aspects of the cheerleading organization with the Cowboys, but this I have not heard about.
Yeah, so apparently 4 cheerleaders allege that a senior executive, their media relations guy, one of their top guys, Richard Dalrymple, who suddenly retired this offseason, basically they said that he recorded them in the locker room or dressing room back in 2015, and so the settlement now for those 4 cheerleaders over $2 million. And yeah, this story just came out from ESPN. They obtained these documents. And, you know, David Sears and I were talking earlier. Richard Dalrymple has been with the team since Jerry Jones bought the team. So he'd been there for a long time.
Yeah, so he retired after 32 years. He was 29 years old when he was hired. And then you just mentioned that he stepped down?
Just this offseason, yeah. It was kind of a sudden move.
Yeah.
A lot of people were kind of, were sort of, you know, taken by surprise by it. It was a surprise retirement, but I guess now we know the answer for that, maybe, or at least part of the
allegations related to that. Well, I'm looking into this because that last name sounds very familiar.
Yeah,
I
he's
believe
been the Cowboys media relations guy forever.
Well, I believe I may have gone to high school with his daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right.
We'll be looking into that story
check out
a little
that
bit
story
more.
a little bit later.
But this morning we're also discussing a historic settlement against a gun maker in the Sandy Hook school shooting and a shocking case out of New York involving a little girl who was found underneath a staircase after she disappeared and she wasn't seen in 2 years.
Yeah, this is an unbelievable case. And bottoms up, San Antonio, because alcohol sales appear to be on their way back up. We have the latest data and an update this morning to a young San Antonio teen battling a rare heart condition, and he is now raffling off some custom designed Spurs kicks.
And they look super cool.
Yeah, they are so cool. And so we'll show you those drawings and drafts that they've come up with first. But we begin, of course, with the weather here.
Weather 101, Justin, come on in. What do you have for us
Very
today?
excited about this.
I worked hard on this, man.
I see Justin working over there at the Weather Center. He's like,
If he's not working, he's talking to RJ.
No, it's true.
Sometimes,
Talk a lot of
sometimes,
sports.
yeah.
It does happen. But speaking of sports, the Olympics going on. Have you guys watched much?
We've been talking about this.
I honestly just highlights.
A little bit,
I'll be
yeah.
honest.
I'm with you.
Instagram highlights.
It's hard to find time, right?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it has been made about the fact that there's not a lot of snow in Beijing, right? In China. There normally isn't this time of year. It's cold, but they don't get a lot of snow. They did get a little bit of snow recently. They bring in a lot of manufactured snow. But my question for you guys is, what host city featured the coldest Winter Olympics since records have been kept? Your choices are Salt Lake City, Turin, Italy, Nagano, Japan.
Nagano, yeah, I was trying to think of how to use
Lillehammer, Norway.
Ooh.
That was.
Alicia,
these are fairly
would you
recent
like to
ones.
I would
take a
say
shot at this?
D. I don't know, just a wild guess there.
Norway feels like the coldest country out of those 4.
Okay.
You know what? Give me Japan. I kind of remember.
Give me C.
those.
Alicia won.
Oh my.
Sorry, RJ.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was Norway. You guessed right. And it's
pretty good at
interesting is that
multiple
temperatures were averaging negative 13 at night there. A lot of people got like hypothermia and stuff. It was pretty serious. But most of the snow is manufactured, and some of the warmest places have been Vancouver and Sochi, Russia.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Vancouver's pretty cold. Yeah.
So they
Interesting.
always it's always kind of tricky to pick these spots and make sure it's cold enough and they got snow and stuff like that.
So
But anyway,
I was Googling, is that in the 90s?
94.
1994. Whoa.
1994.
Yeah.
It was cold.
And I always find it interesting how they bring in the snow for a lot of these games. It feels like they've been doing that a lot.
All of them now. Even if it is
couple
cold, even if they do see snow, it's got to be perfect, right?
Yeah, that
so
makes sense.
they just bring in the snow now. There you go.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's where we are these days. All right, let's talk our weather here. It's not as cold as what they're dealing with in Norway, but we are dealing with some cloud cover. We've had a little bit of light rain from time to time. Now the clouds are trying to clear. This clearing line is going to take some time to work its way up towards San Antonio, but I think it happens eventually this afternoon. That gives us some warm temperatures. 66 right now in San Antonio, but where there is sun, temperatures are already in the 70s, 74 down there in Cotulla. Here's our forecast. We'll see those temperatures jump into the 70s, I think, by the early afternoon, and then probably into the upper 70s later today. Some places down south of San Antonio, southwest, we'll get into the upper 80s. Places like Cotulla could get as high as 87 this afternoon. We're watching a storm system off to the west. That moves towards Texas, brings some severe weather to North Texas, parts of Oklahoma. Not here. Our window for rain is pretty small, and we're not looking for any severe weather. So warm and humid today. Tonight, that window for rain really from about 2 a.m. through about 6 a.m., and it's just a 20% shot. That's it. Then tomorrow, things change drastically in the sense that we get some very dry air, gusty winds. Temperatures are still warm, but the combination of those things creates a high fire danger on your Thursday. Then a cold front comes through. We get some cooler weather late on Thursday into Friday. So here is the 7-day forecast. We'll go 78 Thursday, 60 on Friday, 65 Saturday, and then maybe another chance of rain showing up Monday with some warm temperatures next week. But in the meantime, next 48 hours, a lot going on. Again, warm today. We'll see that chance of showers tonight, and then the gusty winds, warm weather tomorrow, and then a cool down on Friday. But if you're heading to the rodeo, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all looks pretty good. Temperatures in the 60s should be nice. Some increasing clouds maybe on Sunday, guys.
Thursday, Luda?
Luda?
Yeah.
You're getting very excited about that.
You got tickets, right?
No, I'm still debating, but I really just need to buy them. And then if I
Just
don't
go
want to
for
go,
it.
I don't go.
Yeah.
Let's
Actually,
go, Justin.
That sounds like a very interesting concept. now that I
Justin
think
said
about
that
it.
he went in college, right?
Yeah, I said
And that you
Chris in
weren't
college.
very impressed.
No, well, you're going to get me in trouble. You know, he was good.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know
Luda's
Luda.
people. I don't think Luda's people are going to be emailing you, but yeah, I saw Nelly actually one time at Texas State. It was part of their like big kickoff semester celebration. Yeah, remember Nelly? He had
Yeah,
some
of
good
course.
stuff.
Nelly was actually here just a couple of months ago in San Antonio.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ludicrous. Good stuff there.
Luda.
Check it out. Throw them bows.
Okay. All right. So now to our top headlines for today. We want to start with what many people are calling a historic settlement this morning for the families of the victims of that Sandy Hook school shooting.
That's right. The families of 5 children and 4 adults killed in the 2012 shooting reached a massive $73 million settlement with gun maker Remington. And Alicia, this is believed to be the largest payout by a gun manufacturer in a mass shooting case.
President Biden says the agreement begins the necessary work of holding gun manufacturers accountable for manufacturing, he calls, weapons of war.
Yeah, the families of the victims say there's no way that their loved ones can ever be replaced, obviously, but this is a step towards accountability.
It made sense to us as people to take part in this, to try to do something, as I said, to make it so that another dad doesn't have to stand here and deal with this.
Experts say this could provide the framework to legally go after gun manufacturers. Remington filed for bankruptcy that was 2 years ago, so the payout will come from the company's insurers.
Yeah, that's right. So 73 million, that was, I guess, the most that they could get in this settlement here. But hard to believe, again, this is nearly a decade, 2012, and these families have been fighting for 7 years to get when they filed this lawsuit, for 7 years just to get some sort of compensation for this. Obviously, again, it does not replace the loss of their children and loved ones.
And you can hear the emotion in that interview from the parents. You can still see their pain. This is something that, like you said, money is not going to fix, but there is some justice, if you will, for holding this manufacturer accountable.
Yeah. So that case will be interesting. And again, legal experts saying that the way that they went about getting the case, because the whole part of the weapons of war, apparently the case said that they were advertising this rifle as that sort of type of weapon. So it was sort of enticing people to buy the weapon. So that's kind of how they got around it. But yeah, it was a pretty historic settlement there. Yeah.
And usually, because these settlements are so big, it usually gives way to future ones as well. So we'll see, you know, in the U.S., unfortunately, these mass school shootings have become more common over the years. So it's something that we may see again. But and now to a shocking story out of New York. It's making its rounds across social media. A then 4-year-old girl who was reported missing was found alive this week, and she was found stashed inside a staircase.
Yeah, this is an unbelievable case, Alicia. Paisley Schultes was found in what detectives described as a small, cold, and wet secret room. She was hiding with her biological mother, but here's the thing, the mom does not have legal custody of the child.
And in the pictures that have been shared by detectives, it's literally tiny. There were blankets, a stuffed animal just shoved in there. And throughout the years, multiple leads were investigated by various police agencies, and some even led to the same home the little girl was discovered in. However, each time police had checked the home throughout these last 2 years, the parents said they had no idea where the little girl could be.
And we're showing you again this little enclosure. Actually, police, I think they said they had to pull off planks from the staircase at some point, and that they basically used like a halogen flashlight. I mean, this story is just unbelievable. But earlier this week, while searching the home for more than an hour, again, one of the detectives noticed something off about how those steps were built right there, that staircase. He pried open the staircase and found that little girl inside.
Paisley is in good health and has been released to her legal guardian. Meanwhile, her biological parents, along with the homeowner, have been arrested.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yesterday was her birthday.
I cannot believe this. You would not know at all. It's as normal can be, except for the fact that, like I said, they have playground equipment out there and no children. I've never seen the little girl outside ever. And I'm here, I'm retired, I'm here all the time.
So it's not clear who the little girl lived, who else lived with her. Was she, it doesn't seem, because again, authorities have said that she's in good health. So it doesn't seem as though she lived in that staircase. It was kind of like their hiding spot, because again, we mentioned detectives had been going, they had been following some leads, which again were in this home, but the parents denied ever knowing anything. But I mean, again, blankets, I think some shirts in there, that stuffed animal, I think it was like a panda or something.
I think what you just brought up there, at least from reports right now, it doesn't seem like there was the girl was malnourished in any way. But apparently, the parents, the biological parents, did not have custody. She was supposed to be with her custodial parents, and so every time that police went by, they basically told her that we think that she's with them. You know, so that was basically sort of how they were getting around it. Yeah, but I mean, just a shocking case there again, and you know, you think about just neighbors just being aware of their surroundings, and that neighbor said that she was there all the time, didn't notice anything. Yeah, so hopefully that little girl is okay and continues to get better as this case develops. So Alicia, here at home this morning, a warning from a Cibolo woman after a coyote, yes, a coyote attacked her pet Chihuahua in her backyard. This is pretty scary stuff.
This is terrifying. One of our own, reporter Japhanie, she mentioned that her dog had actually been attacked by a coyote in the past. So Zoe Ward said she was outside with her dog on Sunday morning when her small dog was dragged from under the fence. So these coyotes, ruthless.
Yeah, so she looked over the fence and actually saw the coyote behind her home, but there was no sign of her Chihuahua named Mimi, but somehow it survived the attack. So the Chihuahua made it back inside the yard, but was bleeding.
Cibolo Animal Services Manager Charles Gibson said coyotes generally aren't cannibals, so it probably wasn't trying to eat the dog, but was more likely defending its territory.
And Texas Parks and Wildlife officials say that coyotes primarily feed on rabbits, rodents, and insects. And here we have some pictures of this little Chihuahua that was obviously bitten there, bleeding. And apparently the neighbor, I guess, also helped out with this, because I think the neighbor also yelled to this woman, Zoe Ward, as it was going on. So I think she was upstairs and kind of saw what was going on.
That's so terrifying for anyone to witness. I wouldn't.
Yeah, especially, I mean, such a small, sort of helpless dog like that to just kind of get dragged away. Yeah, absolutely. And for it to come back, and you know, I mean, that's good that the Chihuahua survived, but
Mimi?
Just
Mimi's
Mimi,
the Chihuahua.
yes, Mimi
Oh,
the Chihuahua.
poor Mimi.
I know, scary scene there. Glad that she's okay though.
RJ, seems like a lot more people around San Antonio are again going out for drinks. Of course, during the pandemic, kind of people stayed home, but these to-go sales, everything, they're just doing really well here across San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, if you've gone out to any establishment over the past few months, there's definitely people that are out.
Or driven by. Sometimes it's just hard to find parking at these bars.
Yeah, a lot of these bars, a lot of these local spots have definitely had an increase in sales there. So this is a story that we have on KSAT.com. Alcohol sales have bounced back according to the Texas Comptroller's Office. So we didn't quite meet pre-pandemic numbers, but we're pretty close.
Yeah, in 2021, locations reported a total of $626,371,423 in alcohol sales. So just percentage-wise, that's 78% over 2020.
Yes. That is, that's an unbelievable amount. So we have this graphic here to show you guys. So who's selling the most alcohol here? And some of these are pretty popular spots. The JW Marriott in San Antonio takes the cake at 11 million, followed by the La Cantera Resort and Spa with 8 million, and Hotel Emma right there at the Pearl coming in third, and fourth place goes to Smoke, Barbecue, and Sky Bar.
Yeah, they sold more than 5 million in alcoholic drinks, and that's one of the newest places here. Also listed on the top are SeaWorld, Chicken and Pickle, Hills and Dales, Hyatt Hill Country Resort, the Thompson, and then you have there an adult entertainment club.
Right, yeah, so we have all this data on KSAT.com, and again, I think even when you were reading the numbers, pretty shocking, right? Just the overall amount of alcohol sales. I'm surprised Topgolf was not on there.
To me, what's surprising is you have that big dip, almost 50%, 2020 because of the pandemic, and then it shoots back up. So, I mean, good for these businesses. That's what they're in business for.
That's true. And yeah, that's a great point, because a lot of these bars and restaurants really had to sort of figure out what they were going to do for revenue and profits during that whole time. So they are obviously coming back and hopefully gets people back to work. But as long as everyone just, drinks responsibly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we should be doing.
Take an Uber.
Yeah, for sure. Well, now to an update about a story we told you a few days ago. Man, I just butchered that whole thing. Now to a story that we told you about a few days ago on a young San Antonio teen battling a rare heart condition. We're talking about 13-year-old Lucio. He's a step closer this morning to finally getting a heart transplant.
That's right, Alicia. His name is Isaiah, and he's now on the 1A transplant list, which means his family can get a call at any time to get that surgery. So he had to put in basically a device that helps his heart pump blood. And he's had multiple procedures on his heart, and during his last hospital stay, came up with a cool way to spread awareness about his condition during American Heart Month. He teamed up with San Antonio artist Kate Orozco, who designs custom sneakers and goes by the name Custom Kate, and they created 3 new designs and will raffle these kicks off with all proceeds going to the American Heart Association. So here's a look at those designs. Elisa, what do you think here?
These are nice. So you have a black and white, what is it called, low cut?
Yeah, those Nikes are all kind of like that Air Max sort of look there, and those over there, I think on the other side, are a couple of Jordan designs as well. But
so one of them is black and white, the traditional silver and black, and then the other 2 are going to be more of the retro Spurs colors. They're nice. I would go with design 3.
That would be your favorite.
Yeah.
So design 1 here has all the numbers of the retired Spurs.
Oh,
so you see there, Tim Duncan's 21, and then we have Sean Elliott's 32, and then David Robinson's 50, just on that side. So on the other side, probably got Manu, Tony Parker. Design 2 is the Fiesta design that's actually on the court right now that they use. So they have that as the court design, and then the third one, like you said, is more just the classic, the old school Spurs logo.
Oh, maybe I want 2 now.
Because of the court?
I think because you can actually see the Nike swoosh, because on the design
That's
3
true.
it does have the San Antonio Spurs written out there, like the logo printed on. So it's more of a logo shoe rather than a color shoe.
Yeah, I like it. All 3 are great, and again, this raffle is going to be $20 a person, and then you could win these sneakers, and again, all these proceeds go to the American Heart Association, and that again is Custom Kate teaming up with Isaiah Lucio, a local 13-year-old who's battling this heart condition.
That's what I was trying to look up here, because when I introduced it, I said 13-year-old Lucio, but left out his first name there. Isaiah Lucio. So what an awesome, I mean, people like, especially sneakerheads, man, they spend a dime on these shoes and will line up for hours.
Yeah.
I remember in my high school days, I worked for Champ Sports.
Okay.
And we would have people like when
some new information
Jordans,
about you
when
today.
Jordans were released anytime, we'd have a line out the door. So how great that you can do this for a good cause and to help Isaiah.
Yeah, definitely. So check that out. We have that story on KSAT.com as well. So we will continue to update you how that raffle goes. Should be a good time.
I'm looking up who's at the San Antonio Rodeo tonight. I want to say it's Sam
right.
Hunt.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
that's
remember,
right.
the rodeo is going on. I think David Sears is going to be out there. David, can you hear me? David, he can't hear me.
He's working on his story. He's working on the noon show.
I think he's going to be out at the rodeo today with Miss Rodeo.
You're going to be trying food, right, David? At the rodeo today? You're going to be trying out some of the food?
Someone help him.
Oh,
Miss
okay.
Rodeo, Texas.
Yes.
He'll be out there eating some food because, like they said, it's not a David story without some food. But Sam Hunt will be out there today after the rodeo, and that starts at 7.
Well, your thoughts on Sam Hunt? I know we
don't need to share. How about you just go enjoy some rodeo, San
You're gonna get
Antonio?
ready for Ludacris. That's what you want.
Ludacris is who I'm looking forward to see. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, we're live across so many platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, the KSAT TV app, but also subscribe to our podcast. We'll see you here tomorrow at 11 a.m.